Hello, everyone. Pauline Hanson has consistently voted against to increasing housing affordability, decreasing the gender pay gap, extending the job keeper payment, and also increasing federal government support for childcare and increasing funding for public schools. So these are some of the posts and comments that have been circulating all over social media. So whoever is posting this kind of misinformation and misguiding and misleading people on social media, you're just wasting your time. It's too late now. People are not stupid, and it's easy to fact check these days what's right and what's wrong. So, for those who still believe that One Nation has consistently voted against all these bills, I would say one thing to them: do some basic research, know the facts first before coming to conclusion. So let's talk about the facts now. There is no such single bill called housing affordability. What actually exists are different bills, each dealing with different housing issues with different names, years, and policies. So let's talk about some of the housing affordability bills. Pauline and One Nation has voted no. Help to Buy Bill 2023. So what does this bill actually do? Is it's a shared equity scheme to help people buy a home. Under this scheme, the government can contribute up to 40% of the cost of a new home or up to 30% of an existing home. So you only need about 2% deposit to get started, and around nearly 10,000 people each year can able to access to this scheme. So basically, government owns part of your home until it is paid back or the home is sold. Yes, Pauline Hanson and One Nation voted against this bill, and there is a reason for that one, because it's very simple. This bill does not increase the housing supply, and it does not fix the root cause of housing supply issue. In a simple explanation, imagine there are 10 houses available in the market and 20 people wanting to buy. If the government helps more of those 20 people for a home, the number of houses is still 10. So more people are now competing for the same houses. So the core problem, the root cause of housing problem is not solved with this bill. So when you see people saying that Pauline Hanson and One Nation voted against, consistently voted against this housing affordability, it is completely misinformation. She only voted against to only specific bill like this, not the entire idea of housing affordability. Let's look at the other bill she voted against too. Housing Australia Future Fund 2023. Let's talk about this bill, what this bill is about. So government created a $10 billion public housing fund. The idea is that they invest this money, and with the returns, they want to build social and affordable housing. So their target was around 30,000 to 40,000 homes in the first 5 years. But as of May 2026, only 1,430 homes have been completed under this program. So now again, yes, One Nation voted against this specific bill because it does not directly help first home buyers. It is a very slow process that can take several years to deliver housing. And it is a large public fund, and it's a high risk because the money is tied up in an investment model. And most importantly, it does not solve the immediate housing shortage. And One Nation always says that we need to build more homes faster to increase housing supply and release more land for housing development, and also speed up planning and approval process for new housing. And obviously, the immigration needs to be managed in a proper and controlled way, and also the lower the construction costs by reducing the taxes, fees, and other regulations, and focus on increasing rental supply as well as home ownership supply. So now let's look into the One Nation housing policy. So this housing policy will actually make new homes cheaper to buy by removing the taxes and cutting the government charges on building material for 5 years, which means like it will help people build and buy homes more easily. So the problem we have now is building a new home has become very, very expensive. So the main cost went up since pandemic COVID-19. Things like timber, electrical material, plumbing materials, all these costs went up around 200%. So the construction business are under pressure, and also a lot of business are closing down these days. So this One Nation housing policy, what actually it looks like is a 5-year pause on GST for building materials, and this is and this will applies to new homes for up to 1 million value, and also reviewing the government charges and removing mandatory compliance requirement for the new homes, and also giving more flexibility in home designing and construction. Say, for example, if building material costs 100,000 and GST is paused for 5 years, then the cost of construction automatically reduces, so people can afford to buy a new home. So this is what the policy looks like in practice. We can build new homes with low cost and more affordable houses available in the market for the buyers. So and also the construction industry will be more stronger and stable with this policy, and more housing supply will enter into the market. So and the other One Nation policy I've read is talking about slashing the government waste. So what this policy is, reduce government overspending, and it can they have estimated around saving up to 90 billion per year. So finally, what I want to say is, next time when you see a post or someone saying that One Nation voted consistently against housing affordability, against childcare, and against all other bills, ask them to do more proper research before coming to conclusion, and ask them to just know the basic facts of what is the actual name of the bill that One Nation has voted against to, and don't just blindly listen to someone misleading or misguiding you in a wrong direction. That's all I thought of saying. Thank you for listening.